When I was a young teenager, about 13 or 14, I was a pretty angry kid. I don't know, I just acted out all the time. I got myself in some trouble for breaking and entering, possession, minor drinking. I had a firearm on me, and I was also a runaway. So I had several charges against me, and things just weren't really great. Being on probation, I remember thinking to myself, I just need to get through this, get it done and over with. Sitting in church one Sunday with my parents, I heard that they were doing a youth retreat and they were going to go skiing. I thought, yeah, that's exactly what I need. I want to get away. So I begged my parents and I begged my probation officer, and I'm guessing that he doesn't really get too many requests for the kids that he's overseeing to go to church events. So he said yeah. So I packed my bags and I went on a ski retreat with the youth group. I really expected it to just be a fun thing where you go and ski. I was a little surprised to find out that it was mandatory for you to sit and listen to the sermons. So I reluctantly went. At first I was sitting in my seat, kind of observing everybody and feeling like things were a little weird. Eventually I was on my feet, and then eventually I was singing. And I just felt like this magnetic pull from inside to leave my seat and to walk up front. The more I tried to fight it, I felt like the harder it got, and I gave in, and eventually I did. I left my seat and I made my way through the crowd, and I fell on my face at the altar. All this time feeling completely unsure of what in the world I was even doing. I just felt the weight of everything that was going on in my life at the time kind of wash over me, and it was heavy. It's not where I wanted to be. I mean, yes, I had made those choices, but it's not that I had said to myself, at this point in my life, I want to be a juvenile delinquent. I want to be insecure and angry and frustrated. I didn't choose that for myself. And all of a sudden I had this opportunity in front of me to change and to set my life on a different trajectory. Eventually a leader came and got me and said, let's go talk. She kept talking to me about this idea of redemption and how you're made new in Christ and you have a new identity. And everything in me was just saying, no, I won't. You don't understand. I am so broken. But in that time, she was offering me the promise that Jesus gives us. And it was a lifeline. It was my reset button. And even though I had no idea what it meant, I felt like it was my only chance. And I took it. And I gave my life to Christ that weekend. I really wrestled for several years with my identity of being angry and frustrated, and now having this new identity of being a child of God. And I lived my Christian life with one foot in and one foot out. But I got in a relationship with someone, and he and I were really serious. And he was also a Christ follower, but we were living our relationship in sin. I feel like kind of towards the end of our relationship, he and I both had the desire to be closer to Jesus, but we were still trying to figure out what that really meant and what that really looked like. From the moment that I said yes to following Jesus, I had this little flicker deep in my belly to do better and be different. And as many times as I tried to snuff that out, it wouldn't go away. And so eventually I started saying yes to that more and more. I decided to apply to Elam Bible Institute in upstate New York. So I applied, and to my surprise, I got in. I sold my 5-speed for a truck, I packed it up, and I drove east. I needed this experience to be a reset for me. Getting to Elam was exactly as I expected. They had very high expectations for the students, and the majority of them grew up in church. So one day I walked up to my dorm. I laid down like I did oftentimes between classes because I was always so tired. As I laid there in my bunk, I kind of had something catch my eye. It was my birth control pack that I had shoved between the springs and the mattress of the bunk above me. As soon as I saw it, I had this suspicion that I kind of knew why I was so tired. And I didn't want to believe it, but I would find out that that suspicion was true. I found myself pregnant in Bible college. I kind of feel like that kid again back at the retreat where I was talking to the leader about, I can't do this because I'll mess up again. And then here I was in the middle of what I expected to be a reset. I came home from Elam and I had my daughter, Selena, who is a sweet, tender, kind little girl, and she teaches me how to be better every day. And eventually her dad and I got married, and me and Izzy have been on journey together ever since. And I asked myself, why would God still love me, this juvenile delinquent, and he saw me in my worst, and he saw me try and do my best and still screw it all up? What could he possibly have to use from that? Why would he still love me and offer me a place in his kingdom? I don't know why God continued and continues to offer me grace, but I do know that if he can offer me grace, he can offer you grace too.